Hey, it's your boy DJ Wolf again. Guess what? I got a lot on my mind this week. I think I might have done about 8 or 9 podcast videos this week. I can't even keep up. Anyway, got a couple things on my mind. It was one thing I was thinking about in particular, man. I kind of understand why, and it was just on my mind why a lot of brothers tend to date outside of their race, because the most loyal of people you think would be loyal aren't always that loyal. I tend to say that not only from what I've seen young black men go through with women, our women, but what I went through personally, not only with just women I've dated, women I've slept with, women I had to deal with on the job over the years. Trust me when I say this. Our women aren't that loyal. They're not. I think they're loyal to a fault. And maybe if you're in a somewhat serious relationship, they can be somewhat loyal. But nothing's ever 100% on anything anymore, man. You know, for real. And I saw that with somebody not too long ago. The guy had, and this girl had a like mind. You know, they were both, you know, working in the same industry. And, you know, they were both young. And the girl had, you know, she had a child, you know, from a previous relationship. The young man had, you know, had it going on. He was working a job, you know, 2 jobs. He worked a full-time job and a part-time job on the weekends and stuff. And, you know, he thought that she was the one. He said that they were, you know, they actually shared the same experiences and all of that stuff. And come to find out, she lied. Like a rug. And really, I think personally the main reason she lied was because the guy she was probably with treated her like shit. The guy she was the guy she was still with treated her like shit. Let me rephrase that. You know. And this is the problem with our black women today, man. They want to have their cake and eat it too. You won't, and somebody else was talking about that on another YouTube channel. I just saw it a couple of days ago. Or the women, they don't have a problem having that good man, but they always keep the bad boy on the slide. You know, I had a almost similar issue that myself. It was a girl I dated in high school. Named Linda. She was finer than a motherfucker. I tell you that right now. I think she was half. I think she said she had Asian blood in her family. Because she grew up in California. And I remember her saying that. I know she has some Indian. She said I know she has some Native Indian and Asian in her family. She was fine as shit. She was the first biracial girl I ever dated. And I was in high school. I was crazy about this girl. I mean, this girl was really hot. Trust me, top to bottom, stacked like dirty clothes. I'm telling you. But in any case, man, we were dating for a while, and one day she took me over her dad's house. Now I'll put in quotations, her dad's house. All right, that's what she told me. And we went over there. So it was her, me, her dad, and this other dude that she claimed was, quote unquote, her cousin. Alright. So it was like, hey, okay, how you doing, bro? Alright, yeah, you and your girl dating, and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And, you know, next thing I know, okay, everything was copacetic. So I thought. So my girl got mad at the time because we were supposed to be going out to Cedar Point. Those of you know where Cedar Point is in Ohio, you know what's up with that. I heard somebody talking about going out there or something. Right out here. In DMV, they're talking about driving all the way up to Ohio to go to Cedar Point. I'm like, really? This must be a hot vacation spot. For years I've been hearing people talking about going out to Cedar Point. Anyway, that's where we went, with our senior class. A number of schools in my area. My school was one of many that was supposed to hook up with the buddies and stuff out at Cedar Point. Taking the girls out there, whatever. So I was trying to get a car, trying to get a car. One of my parents' cars let me, me drive up there. And my friend, I was gonna follow him and whatever. We was all gonna meet up. My folks like, nah, you can't do that. You can't do that. So, okay, fine. So me and my buddies said, we just pitch in together. Pull our own resources. We'll just go up there together. So my girl I was dating, she kind of got a little frustrated about it because I couldn't, make the opportunity to go out there. Right? Okay. Wrong lane. I couldn't make the opportunity to go out there, to drive her out there. Something weird went down with that. Something about, I don't remember. Anyway, that's what it was. We were breaking up prior to that. That's what happened. We were to break up. And I was kind of like, she said, I guess she said she wasn't going, or I think she was going with some friends of hers from school, whatever. So next thing I know, we out at Cedar Point roaming around, me and my buddies. I don't think we had been in the park maybe not even 10 minutes. I don't if that, because I remember we were going into the park, we got to the entrance, and we started walking down the main corridor in the park, main, theme part of the park, where you see, all this. But anyway, get over there. Next thing I know, who do I see? My ex-girlfriend. Well, she was my girlfriend at the time. She was about to soon be my ex-girlfriend. And her quote-unquote cousin. All hugged up. We see them all over the park. I never said anything to her the whole time. I didn't get a chance to talk to her, but I saw them from a distance. Not only did I see her hugged up, my buddies saw her hugged up from both my high school, my old high school, a couple of other guys. Also, they said, yep, that was her. Yep, so couldn't deny it. They all know what she looked like. It was undeniable, trust me. And so she never did tell me the truth about that. I knew that at that point the jig was up. I told my friend, I said, either she was lying to me or they're kissing cousins. One or the other. What is this cop doing? These road ass driving cops. They drive so stupid out here. Cops doing that now. But anyway, so I guess it must have been kissing cousins. I said it was a kissing cousins or she was lying like a son bitch to me. One or the other. So anyway, to make a long story short, I'm trying to. After somebody. To make a long story short, she lied. The bitch lied. And I was crushed. I ain't gonna lie, I was crushed. I mean, my heart was broken in 1,000 pieces. This was the first I dated a couple of girls before her, but she was the first serious relationship I ever had. And that was about 34 years ago. Yeah, about roughly. Yeah, 34 years ago. I mean, she broke my heart. I cried. And two of my closest friends, one of my close friends, he's no longer with us. And I cried. I cried hard. As a teenager, I don't think I've ever cried that hard before in my life. I cried at a couple of other occasions and stuff like funerals and stuff like that. But to cry from my friends the way I did, it was just, it was heartbreaking. It was, to me personally. It was just the most hard. I never cried that hard over a woman. Well, actually, I have, but for my first serious relationship, it was tough. And I know somebody personally that did the same thing. They went through the same thing. But mine was kind of more of an embarrassment because everybody knew who this girl was. That was to make it so bad. And it was just kind of messed up that happened the way it happened. Really? Do you see me making a daggone left turn, you dumbass? With no stop sign? People, I tell you. But yeah, it was just, it broke me. It emotionally, it broke my heart. It really, I swear it did. I don't think I've ever had a relationship that broke my heart as bad as that. Well, I take that back. My other ex-girlfriend, but that's another story. I think with her, that was a different issue though. But, and, you know, I was hurt. I ain't gonna lie. I love hard. I'll be honest with you. And especially when I was young at the time, I was like, but my dad kept telling me, hey, you need to go ahead and date around, blah, 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 blah. I won't say what he actually said, but it's not the story. But nevertheless, it was just a heartbreaker. And I learned my lesson about that. You know, and like I said, black women, they're not, they're loyal to a fault, but not quite as loyal as you think. They always claim that they're looking for a loyal man, but a loyal guy. Well, no, they always say they're looking for a good man. They ain't saying they're looking for a loyal man because they ain't loyal themselves. But I'll talk about this in part 2. I got more to say. This DJ.